And this is FTB Weekends. Welcome for we're recording this on Saturday, June the 18th. It's currently 1:08 p.m. in case stuff changes and you see this after the stuff's changed. I'm Jason C. McLean. Welcome as always, Don McSweeney.
Hello.
How's your Grand Prix weekend going?
I don't Grand Prix. In fact, the convenient thing about Grand Prix is it shuffles all the people of a certain part of a certain type to a certain part of town, and then I don't have to deal with them elsewhere.
Except the part of town they're being shuffled to is kind of near your part of town, right? At least
No.
one of the places. There's the Saint Laurent Street Fair. And
oh no, but that's Saint Laurent Street Fair is pretty cool. I mean, Saint Lawrence is always cool, and we still have the Mural Fest going on. So we have traditional hipster arts vibes here. We don't have velour shoes and rich men with young girls.
But you go a little bit further down Saint Laurent, like from what I remember, from like Sherbrooke till about like Pine.
Oh, I'm not gonna go.
Oh, you're not going to go. Okay, but also downtown as well too. That they had like
avoiding
Peel
it.
Street, like it's Crescent, of course. Peel Street, yeah. It's if you're into that sort of thing, or if you just want that kind of like loud sort of like ruckus cars revving their engines party, that's yes, definitely go. Otherwise, unless you live downtown, maybe avoid downtown. That's
it's our first tourist weekend in 3 years or something, though. So, whoo, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, you were telling me that.
Yeah,
the police were out in full force last night on.
They really were a mural fest. So there were groups of police and some police on horses, and I was trying to figure out why, because nothing extra was happening that hasn't been happening for the past week, except we have all these tourists. It was lineups at clubs and everything. And also I was thinking with our rise in gun violence that, you know what, it didn't hurt my feelings to have them out there, to just be letting everybody know that despite what you might have heard, Montreal still doesn't play like that.
Yeah. I mean,
but also ACAB, but also, you know, I understand. Yeah. I understand in this case, just being out there and being present.
Yeah. Well, one thing that's speaking about tourist season, there's something that at first I was thinking this was like encouraging locals to go downtown, but I think you were right when we talked earlier. This might actually be more for tourists. On weekends for the entire summer, from June 24th till September 5th, so more than the summer, 7 metro stations in the downtown area will be free. The stations are Saint Laurent, Place des Arts, McGill, Peel, Champ de Mars, Place d'Armes, and Barrie-UQAM. So 2 on the orange line, 1, 2, 3 on the green line, and 1 that's on both lines.
Well, first of all, this does help me because I'm prone to strolling and walking, and then, you know, it's very convenient to be like, oh, I'm already here. I could just take the metro back for free instead of having to get a ticket, or do I want to walk back, or whatever. This will actually get me home from I've wandered too far. And so that's nice. But I actually think it really is. I originally was wondering if it was to try to curb some drunk driving, because let's say you live by Vendôme. You end up drinking by Crescent because apparently this is your scene. You find a metro, you pop in for free. You could then Uber from Vendôme to your house, and you're going to save a whole lot of money if you're drunk and wandering this summer. Additionally, though, I think for tourists, you could take a metro. You're going to be lost in near one of those. You're going to be drunk, and you're just going to pop in there and get straight to your hotel.
Yeah. No, I mean, for tourists, it makes perfect sense, especially if they're living, they're staying in the downtown core, and they're going, for example, you could go from from Crescent or from Peel to like Barrie, Saint Denis, like Old Montreal. You could get around by metro instead of by car. But I'm thinking, because I mean, obviously, what I was originally wondering, I was like, people who live, like, for example, say in NDG, and then they live near Vendôme, but it's a bus ride. So, for example, obviously,
but you just made your Uber so much cheaper, because nobody wants to Uber from downtown.
You're right. But, yeah, exactly. So that there's that factor too. Yeah. So I mean, but you can't, for example, it says that you still will need a valid bus pass to access to go into other metro stations. It says to access other metro stations of the bus network. So you can't, for example, you don't get a transfer to go on the bus. I'm hoping also that they're not going to be checking people leaving metro stations that aren't part of this to see. Like I'm pretty sure you're allowed to take the metro from like Guy to like Vendôme or to like Wino Gru and still leave the metro without paying. I think once you're on the metro, you're able to leave the
Once I'm
metro.
on the metro, I'm free. So what you're telling me is
Because I've
weekends,
seen
they're
it,
not going to be checking at
yeah,
night.
yeah. Because I've
Yeah.
I've seen it where people leave a metro when leaving a metro station, and there's like a row of metro cops checking people's tickets before
But so
they
now
leave.
what this tells me is weekends this summer, they won't be doing that at night. They'll probably still do it rush hours, which is often when I see them, but really I always find them cracking down at student times. So I think this is a little tip that if you happen to be doing that turnstile trick, by the way, just because when I see it, it stresses me out because somebody died in New York from hopping a turnstile. You know, when you hop the turnstile over and somebody caught their foot, whoop, head plant. So now every time I'm in the metro, that was in New York, but every time I'm in the metro,
Okay.
and I see people doing that, all my mother instincts, So I just want to remind everybody, in case you run out of money or your tap doesn't work and you don't feel like dealing with it, or you just want to steal a trip, I don't care. You pull the turnstile towards yourself, you put your little body in there, and then you push your way through. Don't hop over the thing and kill yourself. Okay, thanks.
But you know
PSA.
what? One thing I think in New York it's maybe a little different. One thing I noticed is this happened to me one time. I was coming from downtown. Actually, I got on the metro at Peel, and I was going towards Lionel Grew. But I was in the middle of I was not really thinking that the first thing I hear is next Prussian Station McGill. I'm like, oops, I'm going the wrong way. We've all been there. I get out of the metro. I get out at McGill, but at McGill, you can't just walk across. You have to go back into the metro. You have to enter. You have to go exit the metro and go back in to get to the other platform.
That's wrong, man.
I tried to put my path. It didn't work, and I had like a valid like bus pass, and it wasn't letting me out. So I was like, look, I could jump the thing, but someone might see me and potentially face a fine. Or what I ended up doing is I had some money. I spent $350 on another ticket, and I went, even though I legitimately had a pass and was in the metro, because it wouldn't let me go in after. Like, I don't know. A long story short,
you pull the turnstile towards you.
I know.
Put your body in.
I can get in, no problem. It's the matter of like would they still check my pass when I was out? Would it still register as good? Long story short, public transit should be free all the time for everyone.
But here it's a private company and not really owned by the city, right? If it was something that was generating income,
it's run by
city,
Quebec. It's run by Quebec, but it's part of the STM is part of the Réseau Transport Metropolitain. It's part of like a Quebec. I think that's the name of it. It's part of a Quebec group.
It's just more of Montreal's generated money going to Quebec as an overall province instead of staying in Montreal where we need it. Is that what you're saying? Okay, yeah, I just wanted to check.
Montreal gets, I think city council can put two people on the board of directors of the STM, but it
should be city run.
Yeah, it should be city run, and honestly, it should be like, if you want to, doing like a few stations downtown, fine for the tourists, but you know what? You want to encourage people not to take their car, make it efficient. Pay the workers very well. Maybe the executives make a little bit less and make it free for everyone.
That's a few steps down the road, sir.
Yeah.
First of all, we have to make it city run.
At least they stop announcing like cher client or dear clients, where there's something that at least they understand they're commuters. They're not clients. This is a public service. It's not a business. It's not supposed to make money.
Change. Very cool.
For a while they were doing that, and I wrote an article about that. Really pissed me off. By the way, an article you wrote this week. I guess moving along, we have some of the Fringe festivals happening right now. James Gartler has covered a few things. We have another one of his articles coming up today. And you saw a play, right?
That was a professional segue, sir, if I do say so. I saw What About Alfred? And it's Albert. See, I keep screwing that up. What about Albert? Because the thing is, Albert doesn't come up. If you're going with the metaphor of Godot, waiting for Godot, Albert is not Godot. There's another, anyway, I'm not going to give too much away. It was a great little play. It was, it passed quickly, and it was, it took a lot of talent. It was fast dialogue, and it was existential, but with humor, which, I'm a bit of a fatalist and an existentialist, or however you want to put it, depending on the day. But if you don't do it with humor, we might as well all be in the ground already.
Yeah. And we have well, we'll still have more coverage coming up from that festival. We also have Just for Laughs coming up. We have excuse me.
I'm gonna talk to you after this. I'm gonna put in some dibs for tickets. I have some plans.
Oh yeah, we're gonna actually, yeah, we'll definitely talk about this because we are gonna have a team covering it. So
I'm going to see Jay Okerson's Nasty Show. Either way, Yamanika Sanders is going to be there. I forget who else. I'm so excited. Jay Okerson's hosting, and yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah, great. And we have Oshiaga coming up as well too. It's going to be
less excited, but I'm just happy everybody's back.
No 77 Montreal this year, as far as I know.
Disappointed.
Yeah, more the punk rock thing. All right, yeah. So the main thing is Montreal's back.
Montreal's back.
Back. Yeah. All right. Good. And I think we kept things in almost entirely what we mentioned Quebec a bit, but we kind of kept it local this episode. No
Montreal's
stories of
pretty great. I suggest you go all check out the Mural Fest in its last weekend. We have a new Shepherd Ferry on Saint Laurent, still DJs out, still partying out, street food. Everything is out. Go take advantage. This is the color and life we've been wanting so badly for the past few years.
Yeah. And hopefully next week we'll still be talking about Montreal, or we might be talking about the January 6th hearings in the States or something. I don't know. But you can follow Don McSweeney on Twitter and Instagram at McMoxie, me at Jason C. McLean on both those platforms. You can, if you see watching this on Facebook, like the video, share it. Follow Forget the Box, obviously. On YouTube, smash that like button. Follow Forget the Box, ring the bell for notifications. I like saying smash that like button. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram at Forget the Box. For get our Android app, and for daily content, of course, check out forgetthebox.net. We'll catch you next week for another FTB weekend.